A very warm welcome to you. Many thanks for being with us on the program again this week. It's always my pleasure to be here, bringing you all the latest happenings, exclusive interviews with business leaders right here each week. Christmas is here again. If you're not as excited as I am for the season, I don't know what to say to you. Compliments of the season. Welcome. On the lineup this week, we bring you highlights from the Pension Fund Operators Association of Nigeria Penop annual media parley with insurance and pension correspondents recently here in Lagos at the Federal Palace Hotel, Victoria Island, under the theme Micro Pension, Challenges and Opportunities. The annual Penop Media Parley provides a veritable platform for information sharing to enable journalists report the pension industry better. This year's edition was no exception, as Penop prepares to broaden contributors' base through micro pension. Let's check out some excerpts from the event.
Competing with the banks and the fund managers, and you need to attract talent, and you need capital to do that. The second issue also is got to do with digitalization and automation of operations. It's no longer brick and mortar. We need to do a lot of investments in ICT infrastructure, and this costs money too. All this evolves into providing very top-notch service delivery by pension fund administrators. So it's important. People have asked why do this, especially at this time of the COVID and the impact on businesses. But I don't think there would have been any other time that this should have been done.
The amount that you contribute in the state will go a long way to determine how much you will collect as pension when you choose to leave. So it is important for us to change the narrative. I'm looking at this as just a saving, but it is a saving for retirement and collection of pension.
What more can I say than to urge you as always to sit back, relax and spend this time with us. Details in just a moment. Please stay with us. Moving on, we now bring you highlights from the annual Penop Media Parley in Lagos. There is no doubt that the contributory pension scheme is one of the best things that has happened to Nigeria in terms of implementation. With the total pension assets now in excess of 13 trillion naira, expanding the dragnet of contributors is the way to go. And capturing the informal sector through micro pension is good thinking, given the size of our population. Happy viewing.
The Pension Fund Operators Association of Nigeria, Penop, is an independent, non-governmental, non-political, and not-for-profit body established to promote self-regulation and ensure international best practice amongst players in the pension space. Parts of its objectives is to promote public awareness of the pension scheme. In line with this objective, Penop recently put together its annual media parley for insurance and pension correspondents at the Federal Palace Hotel, Victoria Island. The media parley this year was held under the theme Micro Pension, Challenges and Opportunities. In attendance were leaders of Penop, representatives from the National Pension Commission, PENCOM, as well as pension funds custodians. Setting the tone of the day's event, the Chief Executive Officer of Penop, Mr. Oguche Aguda, said that they value and cherish the efforts of journalists at creating the needed awareness about the pension industry.
We just want to let you know once again that we value the media community, and we value what you do for the industry and how you report and how you help to bridge the gap between the RSM holders, the pension regulator, the pension operators, and the RSM holders. So we're very appreciative of that. This year's event has been put together specifically to talk about micro pensions, challenges, the opportunities. Since it was launched, how do we go forward? We want you guys to be free to ask questions as much as possible. With us here, we've got officials of PENCOM representing various divisions. We've got the head of investment supervision, we've got the head of surveillance, we've got the head of benefits and insurance, we've got the head of micro pension, and we've got the operators also. We've got some PFCs, we've got some PFAs here to answer all your questions. What we want to do is to give you enough information, enough ammunition to be able to spread the word about pensions and to let people know that the pensions are safe, to answer their questions and to just inform the public. So please, please, please ask your questions. Everyone is here and we're here to answer your questions and work together with you to move the industry forward.
Welcoming participants to the event, Mrs. Idu Ikwosa, member, Penop Media Committee, says that insurance and pension correspondents are critical stakeholders in the pension industry.
You are a very important stakeholder in the pension industry, and we do not take that for granted. All the information you write, all the news you spread out on pension schemes, we truly appreciate that. So welcome to the 2021 Pension PENCOM Alley with the media. We're happy to have you here today.
The first technical session of the media parley was on micro pension. Presenter was Mr. Dauda Ahmed, head, Micro Pension Department, PENCOM. According to him, operators are required by law to disclose all necessary information to micro pension contributors.
We run a transparent system, starting from the individual accountant, each individual who registers his issue with. There are certain requirements that operators or PFAs rather will have to make available to the contributor once he has a bid. Customer service delivery is important in the industry because this scheme is based on the individual, and transparency is it. Trust is something that we don't take for granted. So if you have an RSA account, the PFA is obliged to provide statements on a quarterly basis or on demand. In fact, because they are based on the ICT requirements, you can be able to check your RSA balance at any time. So You will be given quarterly, or individual will be given quarterly statements. Just ensure that he keeps track of his accounts, just like you have your bank account. Now, I mentioned when you make contributions, what happens to it? I'm sure all of us are aware PFAs are investors. Their main responsibility is to manage our accounts, and part of the management of our accounts is to make investment decisions on our behalf based on the regulations issued by the Commission. Now, funds are invested, the contributions are invested in a fund collectively. Fund 5 is a macro pension fund, and there are areas where, or asset classes where PFAs are allowed by law to invest.
The high point of the annual Penop Media Parley is the no-holds-barred session where journalists asked the panelists questions. Panelists this year were made up of pension regulators, pension funds operations, and custodians. As always, participating journalists came prepared.
When I see the state of our retirees, it bothers me and it gives me concern. Why am I being bothered? These people, they've been, their money has been deducted and not remitted. And it happens mainly to agencies of government, Lagos State, let me mention Lagos State, agencies and parastatals. And I've been raising this question, like I was at a JSC Joint Negotiation Committee. I'm a unionist, by the way, and I raised this question. Even the permanent secretary in the Ministry of Establishment, Pensions and Training is aware that this thing is going on, and actually said it is sanctionable, that it is criminal for the head of organizations that are doing that, but they are not doing anything about it. Even Penop is not doing anything about it. Please, I want to suggest, this agency, even my own organization is among them, but mine is minimal. There's an organization of government that I know that for 18 months that has not been remitted.
In the last 1 year or so, or more, I think there is a little drop in the investment on bond investment. And looking at the climate once again, I think the yield is coming up gradually. Are we looking at seeing more investment in that space next year? Looking at the projection, the outlook for next year. Because from what has happened, there was some pool of funds moved into the capital markets, which is the equity market. I don't know whether we are calling some of these funds back into the bond market, or are we trying to expand our investment in that space?
Responding to some of the questions raised on non-remittance of contributors, Mr. S.M. Buhala, head Benefits and Insurance Penop, said it's criminal.
Now, under the Pension Reform Act, states are required to pass their own pension laws. And whatever engagements or discussions that going on with respect to the state participation in the CPS is governed by that state's law. Now, if those in the mainstream service of Lagos State are being treated differently and being paid their benefits because they are mainstream, and another group are not being paid their benefits because they are in agencies, then one can interpret it to mean that those agencies are more like private sector agencies owned by the state government. That would be my first line of interpretation. And if that is right, then they will be treated as such in accordance with the provisions of the Pension Reform Act, which stipulates the penalties for non-compliance in terms of remittance of pension contributions as and when due.
In its closing remarks, the president of Penop, Mr. Wale Odutola, said that they are working with Penop to develop the micro pension space.
As you clearly said, I think we're partners in this journey, and our ability to communicate with our constituencies is really dependent on the work that we do with this community. I hope that today you found the sessions very, very useful. I think the sessions of micro pensions was particularly illuminating, even for me as an operator. And be rest assured that the work that Penop and the operators are doing in this area is one that we take very seriously, and we hope that will lead to significant growth in the micro pension space.
There is no doubt that the annual Penop Media Parley is aiding insurance and pension correspondents in their task of educating and creating the needed awareness on the contributory pension scheme, and now, most importantly, micro pension, which is designed for those in the informal sector who form the critical mass of the Nigerian population.
That's our time on the program this week. Many thanks for being with us, not just today, but all year round. We say a big thank you to all our sponsors and partners for their support, and to you, our esteemed viewers, who keep us company each week. We are counting on your partnership again in the new year. If you're yet to partner with us, please come on board in the new year, and you will be glad you did. My name is Lucy Lupe. From the entire team, have a fun-filled Christmas, and remember, love is the reason for the season. So spread joy and show love to everyone around you. I'll see you again soon. Until then, Merry Christmas and have a splendid 2022. Bye-bye.